let's go back to cinema and let us talk about The Surfer. Now, this is a film I have heard absolutely nothing about. And when you both said, like, The Surfer, I was like, what the? I'm like, what is this film? What? It's like, what is this film? Because even the title, it makes me think, okay, I was going to say the title, the poster that Sean was just put up on his background on Zoom, this just makes me think 60s slacker movie or something like that. So tell me, okay, Sean, tell us what The Surfer's about.
Okay.
Good
You
luck.
could be told into believing that this is a vintage film because it's filmed in like a film. It's got that grey, slightly grainy, slightly aged quality about it. The
Yeah.
music straight out of like Endless Summer, and it's a Irish and Australian co-production, I think it was. So there's a full-on Aussie vibe about this. And the story is a lot of the people you don't know their names. Nearly all of them are known by the surfer or the dude or the something or other. None
Yeah.
of them have got, you don't know their character names. And you meet our character Nicolas Cage, who's the surfer of the title, who goes to he's was raised in Australia, but after tragedy, his family relocated to America, and he mainly lived in America. And then he's now come back with his family, his own family, to Australia. And his dream is to buy his childhood home, the home that he was raised in, that he lived in, and he wants to buy it back. But that piece of
So
post has become like really hot property, and it's
okay.
contemporary in the modern day.
Okay, I just wanted to say, like, the cynic in me is going, that sounds like a very convenient plot strand to stop Nicolas Cage attempting an Australian accent. But
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
okay, move on.
He didn't even go there, which is good. So this is his dream, but his dream, you get the feeling as the film progresses, quite obviously, that this dream has become an obsession. And then when you have a till about an obsession, you then sometimes you can lose track of what is real
Yep.
and what is his obsession. And so he gets to this, he wants to take his son surfing, and he wants his son to be out in the water and to look up and see the house that he grew up in, and that one day he's going to be theirs. And
Yep.
you get the feeling that he's acquired some wealth and that he's close enough that he can buy this house, but he's just in some negotiations about the final price. But
Mm.
it's his dream. So you go to this beach, it's got like a perfect, pristine beach, and you go down there, and there's a group of surfers already there, and they're like going, hey, what the surfing community is like. You go down there, and it's like as long as you respect the waves and you respect that someone's line,
Yep.
anyone can surf together. But this is like no, if you're not local, you don't surf here.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so hey,
because
yeah, I live
sometimes
there.
it can get quite a bit gangy and sort of Sons of
Yeah, big hanging. So
Anarchy-ish.
he goes there and is like, hey, if you don't live here, you don't surf here. He goes, hey, I grew up here. No, it doesn't matter. If you don't live here, you don't surf here. And then he engages in almost this battle of wits or battle of wills with this surfer clique that are formed in this in the bay, and there's like this sort of fake messianic guru type figure who leads them, and then you get this confrontation, and then it creates is this situation where because of his obsession and because of his character, you are left not quite knowing what is real and what's not. So it takes you into a little bit of a trip, into a little bit of a dippy ride. And so you are drawn into this madness, but you don't know whether you're mad, they're mad, or it's all a conspiracy.
So it sounds like they've really essentially tried to make a film that's been lost in time that was originally that was in the 60s and we just found it now.
Yeah,
I
you're
was,
out because
I,
you lose that sense of
I was
place
good.
because it's in this one location. You lose a sense of place, you lose a sense of time, you lose a sense of what's real and what's not.
Okay, Sean, you were going to say.
Yeah, I was just going to say that this has got a real one of those Aussie vibes about it, like 70s movies. So,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
Picnic at Hanging Rock, The Last Wave, those Peter Weir sort of weird,
Yeah,
totally beautifully shot, absolutely gorgeous colours. I did see the thing, it was shot in Panavision. The titles at the start, I said straight from the start, I thought I'm going to enjoy this because they are really, really 1970s. We did discuss this, me and Sharon pointed out, well, it's a Lexus, you've got a Lexus there, so you don't really know the time period.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
but it's almost like
shot
a
a lot of
modern car
animals.
dropped into
I,
this old
it,
setting, and you suddenly go, that makes you feel slightly at unease, doesn't it?
yeah.
Where you think modern car in this setting, in this visual, it just
Mm,
makes you feel a bit. Oh, I don't know what's going on.
Mm.
that's it.
Carry on for me.
Yes, they so you get like echidnas and kookaburras and lots of and sleeping. So and you have these moments and you have these like dream moments like everywhere. It's like, very trippy, like exactly like Shan was saying, super trippy moments.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a bit more, should we say? I thought the ending was a little bit different to what I was expecting.
Yeah.
I was expecting a much more, should we say,
Were you expecting more plot?
revengey sort of, bloke's been picked on, and then all of a sudden he's like takes things into his own hands. But it went in a totally different way.
Yeah.
But
I was waiting for him to go completely postal.
completely cuckoo and like, but yeah,
Completely cage. Completely
yeah.
cage.
Yeah.
So, but as I say, it was a beautiful film. I really, really, I immersed myself totally in this, and it was weird. You didn't know, yeah. I mean, you like, oh, is he turning into that person we saw earlier, or was it just a magic, or was it just in his mind? Because at one point there's cars, and next there's nothing. It's just him in the car park, and yeah, it's just bizarre. And he keeps looking out to the sea, don't he? You're like, ooh.
Yeah, and the waves.
Yeah,
And
because
then,
the way you're talking about it is giving me real vibes of a film called The Swimmer with Burt Lancaster, where
Yeah, that's what John was saying about the
Happy John said about that in minds of that. So, but
Oh,
I
okay,
think
cool.
it was a little bit more out there than good old Burt Lancaster. It was a little bit more Nicolas Cage, Burt Lancaster.
I think, but it was filmed in 1968, and it's the most probably out there that Burt Lancaster was, because Burt Lancaster was kind of like matinee idol, but like this was him. It's mentioned. It's usually mentioned in the same breath as The Graduate.
Yeah, I have to say this. Yeah, Burt Lancaster. All his best films were done when he got a little bit older. Like I absolutely adore Burt Lancaster. No, really good. Field of Dreams. Valdez is coming. He was just class. And I think there was one time I saw an interview with him, and he said, "Oh, now I have to act," because he goes, "I could get away with the pearly whites for like many, many years," and he goes, "I could get away with this face, but now I have to act." That's right. It was in Go Tell the Spartans. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
But I found it was interesting about this film, though. He's called The Surfer, but we don't actually see him surf.
Because only locals are allowed.
Yeah. And I get the feeling that they wanted Nicolas Cage in it, but he probably wasn't employed for his surfing abilities.
Or his ability to do an Australian accent. So,
yeah, stand on the surfboard. But I thought that's the sort of thing. But he was the surfer.
Yeah. All right. So, how many stars would you give The Surfer?
For me, I was totally immersed in it. I loved it. I thought it was great. It was sort of right up my street. So I'm going to give it a 4 stars. I'm going to give it 4 stars this one.
I liked it. I don't think I liked it that much, but I did like it. I rated it. I thought it was a good film, well made, really engaging. But a few moments I was thinking, I don't, sometimes I was like,
yeah, I can understand that.
A bit trippy for me. So I would give it a 3, a strong 3 though, but it's well up there. But it wasn't a 4 for me, but definitely a 3 plus.
All right, cool. So yeah, 3.5 for The Surfer. And